Good morning. Welcome to the Windsor Star News Cafe. I'm Don McArthur. I'm here with Dylan and Kristy. And one of the Windsor Ward races that is really piquing our interest lately is unfolding in Ward 1.
Yeah, it should be an interesting race. One thing that's really interesting about this ward is that there's a resident who's actually organizing his own debate. A 60-year-old Ward 1 resident, Ross Langell, decided to host his own. 6 of the 7 candidates have agreed to attend the event on October 2nd. It'll take place at 7 p.m. at the South Windsor Recreation Complex.
Exactly. He tells the Star's Doug Schmidt, I looked at the list of names and didn't know any of them, so he took it upon himself to take this little exercise in democracy. We're going to try to have him in here maybe next week. Going to email him today. I think it's a great idea. He's actually footing the bill for a bit of this, about $370, for property space. But hey, democracy's not always cheap. The candidates, we're not sure which one is giving him the Heisman right now, but the 7 candidates are Daniel Abelser, Gerbax Bular, Matt Ford, Fred Francis, Denise Gannam, David Hanna, and Ryan Mancini.
Yeah, what I think is especially incredible about this is he says the only participation he's ever really had in elections is just going out to vote. So he's really taking it in his own hands and trying to figure out who the best candidate is to represent his ward.
Exactly. Now, way to go, Ross.
Yeah.
Now, here we're going to show you a photo now because in our news meetings and stuff we've talked about, when do we stop calling Fred Francis, Ward 1 candidate Fred Francis, Eddie's younger brother? I don't know if we're there yet, but have a gander at this photo. We love it. It was taken by star photographer Nick Brancaccio. It was at Francis's first funding and big announcement about loans for homeowners to fix their basements and stuff, and they're lurking literally in the rose bushes is Eddie Francis.
Yeah, absolutely. I say we have to wait until Fred Francis comes in and sits down with us, then he can stop being Eddie Francis's younger brother. But it's a great shot. We have a story in today's paper that Doug Schmidt wrote up saying that Fred Francis, he's looking to calm traffic on residential roads. He wants to lower the speed limit to 40 kilometers an hour. He'd like to see increased police monitoring and more digital speed radar displays to help curb that. He also would like to see $4.5 million of additional funding to improve Cabana Road traffic flow near St. Clair College.
Okay, so we're going to play a quick clip from that press conference. Now we had it at a resident's house, and he sounds a little bit like Eddie to me, but you guys, you can be the judge.
And we're talking about speed calming initiatives, and we're talking about my plan to incorporate greater safety measures for Ward 1 neighborhoods and traffic calming initiatives. That's what we're discussing. That's what I'm hearing when I go door to door, and that's what my plan does today. My plan to improve traffic safety and make community improvements includes the areas that we need to improve, and I have the real plan and the real details to get that done.
Okay, there you go. So it's sort of like each and every announcement, he sounds a bit more smooth, a bit more suave, a bit more like his brother. So we'll see. Right now, he's still Eddie's younger brother?
I agree, yeah.
Okay.
For now, he's still Eddie's younger brother.
Till he comes on here, if he comes maybe to the open house that we're having tomorrow, maybe we'll cut him some slack, let him out of his brother's shadow, but it's going to be tough if Eddie keeps lurking in the background of his photo ops, so they're going to have to work on that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so Ward 1, big issue there is Cabana Road. It's a major artery cutting through the ward. Another candidate, Ryan Mancini, he's tackling that as well. Now, Ryan Mancini, he's a 32-year-old who says his plan focuses on financial accountability and infrastructure development. He'd like to see improvements to Cabana Road, and he'd like to see bike trails running alongside of it.
Well, exactly, and he's got a political family as well. He's the nephew of Remo Mancini, a longtime Liberal MPP. And Ryan, he sent out a great tweet the other night. We've got it queued up here behind you. He's been hitting the pavement hard, knocking on doors, and he actually says he wore out a pair of shoes canvassing in Ward 1. He's actually going to join us next week to talk about the issues, so make sure you come back for that. Ward 1 is really heating up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also heating up is John Millson. We gave him a blast the other day that he wasn't doing anything. His campaign was starting slowly, but he has an announcement today at 11:30 in South Windsor on Shade Tree Crescent about his flooding and infrastructure plan. He also has an open house tomorrow.
Yep, so he's got to be watching this show. So keep an eye out on the website later today. We will have that story.
Exactly, and his open house tomorrow, it's from noon to 2 p.m. At his HQ at 3850 Dougal. I hope it doesn't get in the way. I hope he still comes by here, pays us a visit. Right, tomorrow is our Doors Open house in conjunction with Doors Open Windsor, where they open up the doors to historic homes. Candidates can come in, trustees too. They've been phoning, saying can they come in, and hey, You don't have to come, but if you come, you get a nice little video that you have for your candidate's profile. It's our exercise in participatory democracy. The whole world is welcome, and we hope to see you.
Well, that's it exactly. So if you don't show up, chances are you may not have a video next to your profile on the website. And even for everyone else, the voters, if you want to get a chance just to talk with your candidate, meet some of the other candidates, come in. The doors will be open. You can see our newsroom and check out behind the scenes of this show as well.
Okay, thanks for tuning in. We're at the Windsor Star News Cafe.